President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso has emphasized a strong and clear message. His country is determined to achieve true sovereignty and self-sufficiency. His statement reflects a growing sentiment among many African nations to move away from dependency on foreign aid or external influence, and instead prioritize national autonomy, dignity, and self-determination. When Traore says, "We are mature enough to understand, to live in good symbiosis with people," he is highlighting the idea that Burkina Faso is not isolated or anti-cooperation. Rather, it wants respectful partnerships based on mutual interest and equality, not relationships where external powers dictate the country's direction. Symbiosis implies a balanced, reciprocal relationship where both sides benefit without one dominating the other. The second part of his statement, to discuss what is good for us and what is not good for us, reinforces the idea that Burkinabe people are fully capable of making their own decisions about their future. They seek to define their own development priorities, social structures, and governance models, without impositions from outside nations or institutions. Finally, Traore's emphasis on taking charge of ourselves and to be self-sufficient speaks to economic independence. For years, many African countries have relied on foreign aid, often with strings attached. Traore is signaling a break from that model. His government's recent efforts to increase domestic agricultural production, especially in rice and wheat, are part of this broader vision of reducing reliance on imports or foreign aid and becoming self-reliant. In essence, Traore's words reflect a proud, assertive stance. Burkina Faso wants to engage with the world, but on its own terms, with dignity, and with the capacity to take care of its own people. In early 2025, former U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order that suspended funding for the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. This decision was made in line with his long-standing America First policy, which prioritizes domestic interests over international commitments. The move marked a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy, particularly in terms of development aid and humanitarian assistance abroad. USAID has traditionally played a major role in supporting developing countries, especially in Africa, by providing aid in areas like health, education, infrastructure, and agriculture. One of the countries impacted by this suspension was Burkina Faso, which had previously relied on USAID support for agricultural development. This aid helped improve food production, reduce hunger, and support local farmers. The withdrawal of this funding posed a serious challenge for many African nations that had built programs around this support. However, in Burkina Faso, the situation took a unique turn. Instead of depending further on outside help, President Ibrahim Traore used the moment to promote national self-reliance and boost local agricultural initiatives. His government invested in increasing domestic food production, especially rice, which ultimately reduced dependence on imports and external aid, marking a step toward long-term sustainability and sovereignty.